Hello. Welcome to the Bring All of You to Your Biz Now 5-day Facebook challenge. First off, thank you so much for joining in. And for those of you just tuning in, remember to register. There is the link right on the Women Developing Brilliance Facebook page. So remember to register because I will be curating little summary notes of today as well as putting together a support printable. So any journal prompts that I'll be sharing through our week together, you'll be able to get all in one tidy support printable. So if you haven't already registered for the 5-day challenge, make sure to do that so you don't miss out on any of the support printables. So first off, I wanted to do this challenge for a couple of different reasons. One, because there is still a quarter of 2020 left. And it doesn't feel like that because I don't know about you, but it actually feels like we've had lifetimes of experiences in 2020 through everything that's gone on in the past several months. And in that, I think by the time we get to mid-October, which is where we are now, it could feel almost like the year's a wash. One of the things that I want to say is please don't think that there is going to be this magic reset button come January and hold back from doing everything that you want to do because somehow you think when that calendar and that new year flips, right, that everything is just going to be smooth and lovely. So we have the power to make the changes now. So that's one thing that I wanted to really was going through my head when I was thinking about, different dreams and hopes and goals and things of that nature for 2020. And what I absolutely have been seeing is like, well, this year has just been tough, or the pandemic, took my business, or, whatever, lots of different things going on. And people are kind of holding back and maybe in a waiting period or in a holding period, especially for us in the States. I know November is a big month with the different, with the election coming up and a lot of the political things going on. And so I think it's very easy to want to hold back until some things are decided, whether it's with COVID, whether it's with the presidency, or whether it's with the hope that maybe this was all kind of a bad dream and come January, we're going to get a clean slate. So one of the things that I was really thinking, man, like we have the opportunity to make change now, and we have an opportunity to bring all of us to our business now. Hey Sharon, nice to see you. Melissa, thanks for joining. Hi Linda, hey yo. Awesome, thanks so much for being here live. Definitely go ahead and use that chat box. I'll be monitoring it. So if you have any questions, inspirations, aha moments through our time together, go ahead and feel free to send me likes and hearts and thumbs ups and comments. That really helps in this kind of setting. So two key words that I really wanted to focus when we're thinking about bringing all of us to our business and now. So the first key word is the word all. So what does that mean to you when you think about bringing all of yourself to your business? I just want you to take a pause and think about what that word means to you. And I also want you to have a journal prompt, and you can journal it out right now, but I'll also be sending you a little support printable, but you can write along with me when you think about that word, all of you. I also want you to think, what part of you are you holding back from sharing in your business right now? Now, maybe it's a part of your origin story that you've kept hidden, or more of a personal secret if it was something that you struggled with. Maybe it is a part of your spirituality, or a part of your core values that you just feel like maybe it's not that appropriate to share. Maybe it's your geekery. Maybe there's a certain piece that you're like, oh, that's not cool enough. That's not hip enough. So I want you to take just a minute to think about what part of you are you holding back from sharing in your business? So you can go ahead and think about that. You can add to the comments. Really curious to see. Hey Lola, nice to see you. Good morning. So yeah, I want you to be thinking about that. So that's the very first journal prompt. The second piece to that is what is the number one reason that you are holding back? And you can feel free to share that with me. Hey, Debbie, nice to see you. So, what are you holding back and why are you holding back? So, that's something to really, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into that, but I just wanted to get your juices flowing on that. So, while you're thinking about that, I'm just going to share a little bit about the logistics. This 5-day challenge, we're going to be meeting Monday through Friday. Most of you have the details. If not, let me know. But we're going to be meeting at 11 o'clock and having this interaction here. If you're watching the replay, hit hashtag replay so I know that you're here. If you have any questions or concerns, tag me and I'll be monitoring the chat every single day this week. On Thursday, we'll be meeting at 1 instead of 11, and I'll remind you so you're on point. But one of my intentions is, one, to bring my full self and to be of service all week long for you to this challenge. And I hope that you'll do the same. I hope that you'll carve out some time and space and silence your phone and close down computer tabs and be all here if you can, and be here live if you can. That would be amazing. And I know some of my friends are in different parts of the world and they can't be here live, like Melissa in Guam, but she has already DM'd me that she's going to be watching the replays, which is second best. But the main thing is, and I do this too, like I'm a huge multitasker and it's like, oh, what else can I get done? Can I maybe do some Canva graphics? Can I reply to some emails during this time? But we know whatever we focus on expands. And if you're here for a reason. And most likely it's because you need a little kickstart. You want to be tuned into a higher vibration energy so you can get inspired and motivated. And maybe you even have some tactical cues, questions on the business or the skill sets needed to take you to the next level. Those are all three really important reasons why you showed up and carved out time and space to be here. So my request to you and my promise to you on my side is to be here fully, and I want you to be here fully too. All right? Is that a deal? Can I get some hearts and loves? All right, cool. Awesome. The other thing is I'm going to make this no fluff. So super condensed, leave some space for some answers for Q&A for you. And I'm just going to get straight to the point because I value your time. So I want you to leave about an hour's worth of space for these Monday through Fridays, live sessions. But if we are like hitting it hard in 30 minutes, then it's only going to be 30 minutes. So however long it takes, it takes. My most important thing is that you get condensed, concise value with actionable steps so you really have a transformative week. That is another big part of my intention. All right, cool. So we've got some people that have already brainstormed. That I was just giving you a little bit of an overview of the week while you were thinking about those two powerful questions. What are you holding back? And why are you holding back? So Melissa, thank you so much. I'm holding back my passion because of fear. Thank you so much for sharing that. You are absolutely not alone. That is what I was thinking is going to be the big thing, because that is like one of our biggest stumbling blocks, right? What is holding us back and why? And it is that fear piece. That's why today we are going through the emotional and the mental side, because that is the bigger picture. When we think of things like the 80-20 rule, right? Like we get 80% of our results from 20% of our actions. That also applies to our mindset. We get about 80% of either our positive or 80% of our negative things from the results that we go through, that 20% that we keep repeating. So Melissa, yes, you're not alone when you're saying that fear is holding you back. And Sharon, I'm holding back on a promotion because of fear. That's the deal. Absolutely. All right, cool. Debbie says, I'm holding back because I'm exhausted. In January, I started out with 5 people, then COVID hit and I'm down to 2 people, myself and an assistant. Okay, awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that. We do need to pivot in these times. And we may find that we've had a loss of clients, a loss of income, a loss of staff support. And we're going to be talking about a really valuable NLP technique a little bit later on in this session that's really going to help you shift those thoughts and gracefully pivot, right? You've probably heard that this is the year of pivot, and there are so many reasons why. But the exciting thing is that we actually have the control to shift our thoughts and perceptions. That's the exciting thing. No one controls our mind. That is a beautiful thing. We may have other limitations. There may be quarantine. There may be different expectations, different rules, other things that are holding us back, like our internet speed. If we are now working from home, that may be a limitation. So we're going to talk about how to turn some of those limitations around. But before we do, I really want to address the procrastination piece first before we dive into fear. So why do we procrastinate? And maybe the answer is just fear across the board. But if it's something outside of fear, definitely feel like you can drop that in the comments. So when we hold back from doing something or we delay it, it is a form of avoidance. We're avoiding it for a certain reason. So a couple of the main things, sometimes people will say, I'm avoiding something for the time. I just don't have the time. I've got a lot on my plate. Maybe it is because you're taking on more things than you ever did before. Maybe you're even taking on homeschooling, that you never had to do that before, and now all of a sudden that's added to your plate, in addition to being a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur. So I get that, and I have compassion for it. And we all have the same 24 hours in a day, and so it is not to minimize that you are juggling everything that you're juggling. So one of the things when we think about procrastination and that avoidance, and sometimes we even call it creative avoidance, right? As entrepreneurs, sometimes the things that we do are actually faking us out, that we think that we are focusing on the productive things in our business, but we're allowing it to rob our time or steal our time. Like I said, that could be creating Canva graphics. That could be updating our website to just make slight tweaks to our curiosity hook one more time. That could be allowing everybody else's situation and stuff in our arena to take away our focus and our time, whether it's something with one of our kids, something with one of our partners, or social media, right? How much time are we allowing other things and other distractions and stimuli to rob us from doing the most important things in our day? So that's something to think about. But I think the biggest thing that underlies why we procrastinate and avoid is fear. And that's why I wanted to put those two together today, because it's not that we're not hard workers, right? If you're here, you are dedicated to showing up, to personal development, to bringing all of you to your business. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So one, I already know that about you, that you're dedicated and that you're willing to do what it takes. And most people that I talk to usually tell me that there is no plan B, that this is uber important to them in their life and their family to create a business that's going to be successful and sustainable, and there's no plan B. And I think that in this timing, and let me know if you agree with this, that our definition of plan B has actually become more refined, because we've seen that there isn't necessarily security even working in another 9 to 5 or working for somebody else. What we can control and what is secure is what we can make happen and how we put ourselves out there. And that's why it's so important to address this fear piece and this now piece and this bringing all of ourselves in. So let me just read some of the comments here. Oh, good morning, Jody. Good morning. Melissa, procrastination is my horrible habit. I need to kick it in the booty. Yes, kick it in the booty. That's what we're going to do. We're going to kick it to the curb and really squash it. And we have that capability, which is the exciting thing. Oh my gosh, procrastination is me right now. Yes, procrastination with the volunteer work that we do. And good morning. And my mom's even here. Good morning, Mom. So yeah, we all do this. We all procrastinate. And the big root of why we're holding back is usually fear. And I want to break that down a little bit, because many of you have heard that acronym FEAR is basically false expectations appearing real. So let's really think about that for a minute. It's false, so it's not even true. Expectations, it's what we're anticipating is going to happen, so it's something in the future. Appearing, again, this is something that's imaginary. This is something that isn't even realistic. We can't even tangibly say that it is truth appearing real. And the interesting thing is, our mind, our subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and a thought. It doesn't know if it's occurred or if it has not occurred, if it's imagined or real, if it's false or true. Our mind actually only knows and can grasp what we tell it, the feelings, the thoughts, and the emotions that we program it. And again, we have the control to shift this, is what it will accept as fact. In fact, yesterday I was just reading an article and it was talking about a study that they had done. And they were kind of talking about how to be mindful when we're eating and how to eat less and how to not eat from emotions or just mindlessly snack and not really have that register. And one of their tools and techniques was to just take a few minutes to deeply breathe and to, before you even take the first bite, to close your eyes and get into the feeling state that you've already eaten that delicious thing. And really focus on each bite, each morsel, each delicious, chewing of your pizza, or actually I think the study was on a bag of M&Ms, but it doesn't matter what you fill the blank in. The main thing is, what they found is that people ate less because the mind already registered that they indulged. Isn't that interesting? And so this is a fact now that's actually being backed by science. And the cool thing is, we are in the driver's seat to program our mind with what we want to feed it, because it will then start working towards us and to our positive benefits versus against us based on false expectations appearing real. The other thing that I really wanted to pause and take a minute here is that word now, because all we really have is the present moment. All we have is the now. The past is behind us, which we can't change or shift, and the future may or may not occur, and it may or may not occur in the way or the ways in which we're assuming they may occur. Okay? So all we really have is this present moment, and this moment that we actually have the ability to shift and change perspective. Moreover than perspective is the thought and feeling connection, because the universe actually responds to our thought and feeling state, not necessarily our thought state. So take a minute to think about that. And so for many of you that are law of attraction fans, and let me know if you are law of attraction fans, give me some thumbs up if you are, you know that when we quiet the mind and we tune in to the feeling state, how do we want to feel? How is it going to feel when we bring all of us to our business now? How is it going to feel when we squash fear and we kick it in the butt and kick it to the curb? How are we going to feel? Are we going to feel light? Are we going to feel energized? Are we going to feel like totally on purpose? The universe will then have your back and bring you things with ease based on the feeling state. So this is something so crucial to grasp, and one of the most important things to do to set yourself up for success. The very first thing when you get out of bed, or maybe when you're in bed and you're kind of like getting revved up to jump up and seize your day, is to get your energy in alignment, to start focusing on the things that you do have and things that you are grateful for versus the things that you may be focused on that are causing you to hold back, or those automatic negative thoughts, which researchers have said we have between 60 and 80,000 automatic negative thoughts a day. And majority of those are the same thoughts that we had yesterday. So that is absolutely astonishing. And here's the thing. You have the power to start your day and to shift out of fear and procrastination based on priming the pump and inputting into your hardware, which is your mind and brain, new supportive and positive thoughts that are going to serve you. I'm going to give you a very practical NLP technique here to just illustrate what I'm talking about and give it some context. Oh, Debbie, I'm a law of attraction believer. Awesome. Cool. Yay. So I want you to think about a favorite picture that you have in your house. So maybe you can even look at it right now. Maybe you can even get that visual. And if you're not in a space where you can look at a framed picture or a piece of artwork that has a frame in it, I just want you to maybe even close your eyes for a minute and pull up that visual. And when you think about that frame and you think about that picture, you have like a connection of what that is for you. In fact, I just recently got a piece of artwork when I was in Hawaii earlier this year, framed. And I went to Michael's and I was looking at all the choices and I could not believe the difference the outcome was when I changed the frame. They have this cool software that they can like slip your artwork underneath this camera and they can just switch out the color of the mat, the texture of the frame, the width. It's very cool technology. And so I was there for about an hour trying to get this one beautiful mandala piece framed. And it really meant a lot to me. I met the artist and it to me, it really showed like the divine master plan of everything, all the jigs and the jags, right? Because in the beginning, we don't necessarily understand why they are there, but there is a divine master plan for each and every one of us. And how we perceive that plan completely changes the outcome and our perception of the outcome. So back to this framing. So we were shifting things around and I was like, oh my gosh, that's really amazing. And I was like, that's different. And it went from being elegant, then it could shift to looking like hippie-ish, then it like shifted to like just kind of casual, like every single time we put in a different frame, it shifted what that outcome was. It shifted my connection to the artwork. And the interesting thing is we're doing this all the time in our life, both on a personal and a professional basis, based on how we frame the thing. So a powerful NLP technique is called reframing, and it's an opportunity to change perception, which changes the outcome, because our perception is intimately connected with belief and action. And the thoughts that we think are our beliefs, and they contribute to our actions, which, as we know, the cascade effect then changes our results. So by a conscious reframing of any fear thought, any negative thought, any unsupporting belief, anything that's holding us back or limiting us, that actually can have a turnaround by changing the way we frame it. I mean, give me some hearts or let me know if you're as excited as I am about this, because one, it's free. Two, we're in the driver's seat. And I know that many entrepreneurs actually decided to become their own boss because they wanted to be empowered, make their own decisions, and feel like they were in the driver's seat. And this technique actually ticks all those boxes. So you should be excited about this fact that you don't need to spend a lot of money to do this. You don't need to go to the Himalaya mountains and meditate for 100 years to get results. You can actually implement this technique every single day or multiple days for one or many of your limiting beliefs. So let's give this some context. Let's put this into some examples here. So here we go. So first off, and you can either do this now or wait until you get the support printable later this afternoon and fill it in, but definitely take some time to do this with either that one niggling, holding you back, like the anchor belief that is really keeping you stuck. Maybe it's fear of success. Maybe it's fear of failure, whatever it is for you. Or you can go all out and just brain dump every single limiting belief that you've had and really make this an exercise that you go deep with and follow these step-by-step NLP reframes and turn each one of those around. So step one is to write that limiting belief down or limiting beliefs. What is that belief? And maybe one example could be, I'm not good enough. Maybe that's your belief. Maybe that's why you're not going live on Facebook. Maybe that's not why you're pouring yourself into your volunteer work. Or maybe that's not why you're writing that blog on a consistent basis, even though you really want to. That's just one example. And again, you can choose your biggest one and go deep with it, or you can brain dump and put every single limiting belief that you have on that. That's step one. Step two is and you can make this into columns, whatever works for you, but what are the supporting kind of pieces of information that make your mind feel that that's true? So that's step 2. So in our example where it's I'm not good enough or I don't know enough, maybe a supporting thought to contribute to that in your mind being true is people know more than me. People know more than me. That could just be a simple thought that is contributing to that belief. So you can take some time and write that out for yourself. Awesome. I'm just going to do this here. Oh, yay, Melissa. Absolutely. She says, funny, I use reframing in my role as a social worker, but never applied it to me in my life. It is amazing how powerful this is, Melissa. And once you kind of make this a daily practice, this is something that you can turn around on a dime and squash these limiting beliefs that are keeping us stuck in fear and procrastination. So again, to recap, step 1, brain dump all of the limiting beliefs that you have, or just focus on one if you don't want to get overwhelmed. It just depends on your personality type. Some people like to do an exhaustive list of and other people are like, you know what? I just have one. If I can get this one under control, I think I can get some momentum. So you do you, whatever works for you. The most important thing is to be aware of it and write it down. Number 2 is address any unsupportive beliefs, but you believe them to be true, that is making that first point real in your mind. Number 3, and this is a big part of this reframing, is just like when we reframed a photo, we're going to choose a new frame to look at the same situation, but through a different lens and change our perception. I want you to turn around that limiting belief in point 2, and I want you to make it the opposite, and I want you to make it so interesting, and even if you have to pump it up so it's just like, whoa, yeah. So maybe in our example you put this that I am a renowned expert in my field. So you see how we just turned around point 2 of people know more than me, and we're going to make that the opposite, right? That could be I know more than anyone, or you can just even reframe it in language that feels in alignment to you, because you don't want your mind to kick in to be like, well, that's a lie, right? So reframe it in a way that actually pumps up the positivity, but also feels in alignment to you. So I am a renowned expert in my field, right? People come to me for what I know. And number 4 then is construct the reframe around that original belief in a way that you can use this for empowerment. So maybe that looks like, I am a renowned expert in my field, and people need to learn my message and hear my message and my delivery the way that I do it right now. So I want you to just pause for a minute, and maybe you can review something that you've written down on your personal sheet, or even use that simple example that I just gave. How do you think your day will go if you are now anchored into this reframed belief? How do you think it's going to go? How do you think your actions are going to roll out? How do you think even emotionally you're going to show up for yourself and your audience? If you were going to roll out of bed and start your day thinking, I am a renowned expert in my field and I have people waiting to hear my message. They're waiting for me to help them. They're waiting for me to serve them now. How do you think they're going to feel? Let me know. Jody, I love the reframe. Awesome. Reframe. I have enough business to support resources needed for my business. Awesome. Beautiful, Debbie. So isn't that amazing? So Debbie, if you're going to be thinking, I have enough business, and even I'm going to challenge you to even tweak that more, because you have the power to dream big here, right? Do you want enough, or do you want overflowing abundance, right? Like, you are the painter that gets to make this beautiful piece of artwork, which is your life. So dream big, my friends. We don't want to just survive. We want to thrive, right? And whatever we put out is what's going to come back to us. So if we're making our order to the universe, right, we want to order what we truly desire. So I really want you to dream big here and to really pump it up. Like, you have abundant, never-ending resources flowing into your life now. And I want you to frame this out as if it is right here in your present moment. Because one of the things when I first started doing the law of attraction is I always positioned it in future tense. So I am grateful that when, right? Or, whatever that future tense was. And it's interesting because I work with an EFT coach, and one of the things we were addressing not too long ago actually was I was saying to her that I love joy. Joy is one of my core values. And I said, I really feel like I'm a joy chaser. Like I chase joy. I'm always trying to improve. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to be better. And she's like, okay, let's just take a minute here. And let's just like breathe into that. Breathe into even those words, joy chaser. And I was like, okay. And I really wasn't seeing anything wrong with it. I was like, yeah, I love joy. Like, let's go. And she's like, so now I want you to just think about a butterfly, and its beauty, and you're always trying to catch that butterfly, but it's very elusive, and it's something that falls through your hand almost like sand, something that we never can truly grasp. And it's a future thing, and it's a thing that may never come to you. And it was this profound realization, oh my gosh, wow. I think when I was first starting to do the law of attraction, I was putting in my gratitude statements as a future thing, not as a now thing. So in one of the examples that Debbie said, it's not that I'm grateful that I will have all the resources I need to run my business successfully, but that you frame that in the now. I am grateful that I now have abundant and overflowing resources in my life and in my business to serve and to show up and to be all of me now. Huge difference. And that same shift that my coach was telling me about being a joy chaser. And she said, so how would it feel if you leaned into being a joy magnet? And I was like, whoa, like, mind blown. Yeah, joy magnet. So joy comes to me easily, effortlessly, and often. And what a difference that has made in my perception. It has made a huge difference in how I show up and what I choose to say yes to. It's given me some parameters on what I can say no to if it's not going to bring me joy. So I really want you to think about this reframe on what's going to serve you. And I want you to not be afraid to amplify that point 3. And let me just go over those points in the reframe again for those of you jotting it down. But if you're registered, I'm going to write this all down for you too, so you have a place to write it. But so you have it now. Reframe that fear belief. Reframe that limiting thing that was holding you back from showing up fully and solely in your business now. And remember that you control the perspective. You are in the driver's seat to make these changes and to do it habitually. So one of the things I really recommend is it's not a one and done exercise, but just like we brush our teeth so we can remove any dross or dirt or gross stuff, right? We need to do that with our mind. We need to retune our mind and keep it clean because there's so much stimulus that comes in on a daily basis. And there's a lot of things that can bring in fear and doubt and insecurity. What we need to do is be that 80% that we're continuing to fill those gaps in, create new neural pathways, and form our own positive, constructive beliefs. Okay, that was a side tangent because I'm trying to break this down in those 4 steps of the reframe. So number 1, define what your current limiting belief is. Number 2 is list out why you feel that belief is true. Number 3 is turn around those statements. And for any of you that have done Byron Katie's work, you're very familiar with that turnaround and how powerful it can be to pump it up to the exact opposite statement. And number 4, construct a reframe of your original belief based on those turnaround statements. That's the thing that I want you to lean into, to anchor in, to share with us what that powerful belief is. And to commit to doing that. Try practicing doing it every single day this week and share with me how you start to see things turn around, because this is you committing to show up fully for yourself and for the people that you serve and really putting that order in with the universe so you get some positive boomerang back into your manifested reality. I am grateful. I now have an abundant and never-ending resources to grow my business. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Beautiful. And thank you for showing up, because when we engage, we not only inspire others to do the same, but there is something different that gets it out of our head, and we become not a bystander, but we actually become in that stepping into our power position. So whether you want to take some moments and drop in some comments now on some triggers that came up, some aha moments that you have, or you want to take some time and marinate on it if you're going to do a full brain dump, and put that turnaround statement in, put your commitment in to reframing your day before you even get out of bed. Really putting that order out there and putting that intention in your heart that we're kicking fear in the booty. We're kicking it to the curb. We're no longer going to procrastinate because we're tapped into our bigger why. So one of the things that I want to just encourage you is, if you're having a little bit of a difficulty to be like, man, this seems like it could be an easy exercise, but I'm struggling with it. I want you to just take some time when we're off this live session and close your eyes and just silence everything and tune within and really get in touch with your why. Why are you even doing what you're doing? Because when we connect our why with our purpose, that is when magic can happen. And sometimes, especially when there's a lot of chaos, both internal and external and globally, and yes, 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 I think we can all say that we have experienced these massive shifts, it's very easy to get clouded and forget our why. So sometimes we just have to reinvigorate and remember what our why is and connect that to our purpose, and then go back to that reframing exercise once you have just quieted down all the noise and you look within and you get totally tuned in and tapped in to your specific why. You actually may find that it's a different why right now, because in this quarantine and pandemic, you may have seen a big shift in what you truly value. You may see an opportunity open up. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, bring all of you to your business now, because now is the time. People need you and your message now more than ever. People are looking to connect. They're looking to understand what's going on and how to deal with it. They're looking to find tools and techniques to damper down any fear and anxiety. And so if you can bust through, you become an inspiration for other people to say, man, if she can do it, I can do it. And it's the same thing with a simple act of putting something in the comment section, because you're saying, I'm here, I matter, my voice matters, and I'm going to take action. That is the winning formula, friends, the winning formula for anything, whether it's a new habit, whether it's to book new clients, or whether it's to get out of your own way and actually step up to the plate. So I'm so very, very excited for this challenge and to be with you. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment thread and I'll be addressing them all throughout the week, every single day personally. And I really want to be a resource here for you. So if something comes up, whether it's positive or like, oh crap, I can't do this, like, use me as a resource. Use this community as a resource, right? There are over 300 people, maybe even almost 400 now in the Women Developing Brilliance Facebook group. We are stronger together. And this journey, not to sound like a rambling hashtag, but it is about progress over perfection. Those are two of my favorite hashtags, right? We are stronger together and progress over perfection. I love them so much because they're true. And so this is not about trying to fake it till you make it. That's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to kid ourselves into believing something. It is just a shift in perception. And utilizing that NLP reframe is so very powerful, and understand that we're taking years of the way that we perceived ourselves and our work and trying to make those shifts. So be gentle with yourself. And it's about continual repetition and putting these small shifts in, these small perceptions, catching how we talk to ourselves during the day, catching our feelings when we're about to click go live on that Facebook button. And on day 4 Nope, day 3, we're going to talk about increasing your visibility. And so I'm going to give you some real practical strategies on how to continue to squash fear when it comes to increasing your online message. So stick around for that. Day 2, we're going to be talking about how to share our story, because that is so very important. I can't wait to share that. It's going to be super exciting. So we're going to dive in for that. But today I want you to take some time to do those journal prompts. Share with me any questions or concerns that come up. You're welcome, Debbie. Thank you. And Lola, yes, done is better than perfect. And done is better than perfect and not done. Absolutely. So the other thing I want to talk about is every single day I'm going to be giving away a prize. And just for something fun, right? So today's prize is going to be this self journal. And it's really this beautiful journal that kind of just keeps our accountability. Some beautiful inspirational quotes. This one says, "Believe with all of your heat that you will do what you were meant to do." So that's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm going to be giving this away. I'm going to be mailing it to your door. And how you qualify to get this is either take a screenshot of this session and tag me either at my.coach.casey if you're on Instagram, or you can tag me at Casey Rossi Inc. if you're doing it on Facebook. And I want you to just share an aha moment that you had about today's topic. So how to bust through fear and procrastination. What was an aha moment for you? Maybe it was the reframe. Maybe it was how to program yourself for positivity by starting your day off with getting your energy in alignment. Whatever it was for you that you're like, you know what, man, maybe I knew that, but I needed this reminder, or maybe I never even heard of that and I absolutely need to implement it. I want you to go ahead and share that with your tribe and tag me in that. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to pick a winner and mail this self journal to your door just for something fun and to build engagement. I hope you enjoyed today. I'm really, really excited to be here with you this whole week on how to bring all of you, not more of you. I want to see all of you in your business, not in the future. I want to see all of you now, because now is all that we have, and now is what we need. And when we see one person do it, it's going to be a kickstart. It's going to be a spark, and it's going to motivate and inspire other people to do the same. And I don't know about you, but I'm a lover of positive, good vibes, and we absolutely need more of that in our world today. So thank you so, so much for tuning in. I value you. I value your time. Can't wait to continue to share more. I will drop an email to those of you that have registered with some additional support and those journal prompts written out so you get the most out of each and every day's training. If you still need to register, I'll drop the link in the notes here. But thank you so, so much for being here. I will see you again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. British for my London friends. And until then, breathe joy.